So we got a big week, lots to talk about here, guys. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of these streams, PrimeXBT. If you guys have been following me for the last year at least, you know I've been working with Prime that entire time. They have supported me and this channel. So if you like these videos that I put out, if you like the clips and the jokes and the condensed streams, that's all shout out to my editor. Prime is paying his salary. So if you want to support me, you want to support Mr. Editor, get more videos coming, sign up to Prime using the link in the description of this video. You put in code MAIN50 before you deposit money, you're eligible for a 7% deposit bonus. So that would help me out. Feel free to do that. You can trade crypto on there. You can trade Forex pairs. You can trade gold. You can trade the S&P 500. So lots of stuff that people see me trade that they're like, how do I have access to? You can do it on Prime. No KYC. So if you guys got any questions about that, let me know. Otherwise, let's get into the video. So we have a big week this week. Barry Silbert GIF here, insert. Gonna be a big week. So FOMC is this week. That means that Jerome Powell and the Fed will announce if they are continuing to raise interest rates, and then he will give a speech talking about kind of his view of the current state of the economy and what the Fed's plan is and what they're gonna do. So a lot of people like to try and trade FOMC. I'm not a huge fan of trying to guess because I think that's what you're doing. You're guessing, or you're trying to fade the initial move. Is there strategies and ways to do that? Absolutely, right? You could use something like my company Feed Genie and get the rate information almost immediately to your page, and then you can make a decision. Do you want a long or short based on that info? Or it will also feed you, the tone of the speech that Jerome is giving, right? So if it's hawkish, that's bullish. If it's dovish, that's bearish, right? For the currency, which would be the dollar. So the expected rate hike is 0.25 basis points, 25 bips. That's the expected. Right now, the rate is 5. They're expecting to raise it to 5.25. If they raise it more than 0.25 bips, that would be seen as bearish. If they raise it less than 0.25 bips, that would be seen as bullish. I think what's more important than the rate announcement, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be 0.25. I think what's more important than that is the tone of the speech, because the speech is more so forward looking. So the things you want to be listening to is, are we going to continue to raise rates? How is inflation? Is it getting better? How is the job market? You want to hear those kind of cues from Jerome, because if he comes out there and he's saying, hey, we're going to continue to raise rates, we're not anywhere near out of this, rates are going higher, we're going to raise rates again next time, inflation is still too high, probably not good for risk, right? For what we're interested in. We ideally want to see the US dollar go down if we're bullish on crypto. So if you're bullish on crypto and you're bullish on equities, you want to see the dollar trade lower, not higher. I do think that we're at a very critical spot. We just had a big monthly close. We've got FOMC this week. And on top of all that, we have the main vacation volatility index, which is always accurate, never wrong. Anytime I am away from home, something crazy happens. This goes back for years. The echo bubble that started in 2019 from 3 to 14K, I was traveling Europe. The literal top in May, I was traveling. The bottom, FTX, always something happens. So gonna be a big week in my opinion. With all that shit out of the way, let's start looking at the charts. So if you guys have been following me, I have been looking for reasons to potentially short into this bearish order block here, right? We have our weekly bearish order block here, massive move up. Really what I was just kind of hoping for is like some sort of move from here, down to here, then maybe another leg up. I don't know. That's kind of the goal. Is I saw us come up into this weekly bearish order block. Strength was waning a bit on this rally, and you could tell from this last consolidation and then the breakout not being that strong. And I said, okay, we're coming up into weekly resistance. I have a nice weekly breaker down here that I would love to long for a bounce, maybe to a new high above here. I don't know, but we'll see when we get here. But I figured this is a good area to potentially look for signs of weakness. Now, it's not just shorting as soon as we get into the box. It's having a bias built based on this getting tagged and then a clear level here potentially in the other direction. So we had weekly resistance, and then you saw last week when we did that stream, we closed that weekly candle very ugly. So I ended up getting short And if you followed in Telegram or you are in the Haven, etc., or if you watch any of my videos, I've been talking about this setup, right? We had our move up into resistance. We had a break in market structure on the H12. We had this H12 range form, a down leg on the H12. I was looking to sell the retracement, right? We have the down leg. I'm looking to sell the retracement for potentially lower. So I actually had this marked out. Some of you guys shorted this move up. Some of you guys longed down here. But after this indecision candle, I got short in here. I'll show you guys on the hourly. And then once we had this candle on the H12 close, it gave me a lot of confidence that we're probably going to trade lower. And I think at the very least, we go below these lows here, below this H12 low, right? Where this X is. I think we at least go here. Ideally, I would like to see us trade down to here, but I'm not going to be greedy. If we run the range, we have the range here, we run the low and reclaim. I'm not just going to sit in a short from here hoping that it makes another leg down, right? But if we come down here, we have our down leg, our retrace, we come down here and we're just weak, we stay below, then by all means, keep your short open, keep a portion of it open, look for lower prices. The logic should be very clear. If you guys follow me, you know what I'm looking for. Just based on these few lines here, you should see the setup. Okay? You should be able to see what setups I'm talking about just by looking in this 12-hour bearish OB. Remember, first I had this fair value gap marked. I said, this is gonna bounce. Right? A lot of people were bearish here. I'm like, this just put in a leg. It's going to bounce and I want to short the bounce. The question is, how high is that bounce? That's what I always would go back to. How high is the bounce? And you need to use your price action concepts to figure out areas where price might reject. It had no rejection at the fair value gap. So what was the next area? The 12-hour order block. If it would have pushed through there, I would have looked at maybe a sweep of the highs. But you're just waiting and seeing. You're marking the levels and then you're waiting and seeing what happens when we get there. We got the 12-hour order block. We got a very nice H12 SFP here. We've got a very clear MSB. You could even argue this is the MSB, right? So it looks weak. Everything was lining up. So I was confident in the short. Go down to the hourly. We also had this clear kind of over-under right here of 29.5, right? Trading above the level, slightly back over, back under. You zoom out, it's a very key level here. These lows, this entire consolidation. So when you look at it on the 12-hour, this seemed like a very clear bias level when we traded above here and then broke down. We retrace up to here. Look at the respect of these candles into where? Right into the bearish order block, failing to close through 29.5. All of that stuff looked good for me, so I was confident to punt the short. I took the short a little early. I ended up taking the short here, and I put my stop at the H12 high. Now that we've had this H12 kind of move play out, you could definitely trail the stop down. I don't know if I'd put it at break even yet, because we very well could now have something like this play out before another leg down. I don't know. But ideally, I want to either wait for a pullback to here, then see what happens, or I want to wait and see what happens below these lows. I'm already in the trade. I don't need to over manage it. I don't need to try and predict anything. I'm just interested in areas where price could have a reaction. And I posted this in Telegram. I said, if we come up here, I'd look for a reaction. And my bias would be for another leg down. So I'd be looking for reasons to short. And then obviously below here, we're potentially making a brand new range and leaving this one. So I want to see, are we just going to sweep this level and reclaim? If we do, I would get out of shorts, look for longs. But if we get below here and we're weak, I'm then looking at that weekly order block below, weekly breaker block. So I'm happy how the trade's playing out so far. I would like to see just another quick leg here. Usually on a trade like this, right, I'll take a portion off at 2R, right? So this already hit 2R. You take a portion off at 2R. Maybe you adjust your stops. I don't know. That's for you guys to decide how you want to manage your trade. But I'm happy with the execution on this one, the clear directional bias, and it was all laid out over the past few streams, right? This goes back to our stream last week. And then our stream the week before, when we broke market structure, I said, hey, we're going to wait for a swing low to form on the H12. The swing low formed on the H12. Said, hey, we're going to look for a retracement in this range. Here's the retracement. I want to short that retracement. Here's the short. I only stream once a week, but I continuously update these ideas in Telegram, right? So if you guys want to know, hey, how do I know what you're doing throughout the week? You can find that out in Telegram, right? Pinned tweet. It's my pinned tweet to join. What we want to know now is this the macro top, right? Like, is this it? Is this all the bulls have? Not that this isn't a bad rally. If this is a bear market rally, we rallied almost 100% off the lows, right? 80+% off the lows. That's a killer bear market rally. But is this it? Is this where it's stopping? Or is this just a pit stop and we're going way higher, or we're going to new all-time highs? I don't know. Trying to determine if this is the macro top or not is difficult. There's evidence in each direction. I personally think buying up here is silly. I don't think you need to buy up here. Even if this isn't the macro top, right? We're gonna make another leg higher. I think buying lower just makes sense. Just looking at how PA looks here, kind of with the failure here, I think lower makes sense before potentially higher again. But I'm pretty convinced that if this is not it, maybe one more leg and then a large correction, right? I'm not talking about this kind of correction. I'm talking more about like this, like a 20 to 30% big pullback, and then we see. But for now, I'm waiting to see how we react at this H12 low and then potentially down here. This is an area where I would look to buy because I believe this is a discount and I'm willing to punt down here for a potential bounce, even if it's just back up to here. In terms of the macro top, it's very hard to say. Equities look way better than crypto, right? A lot of these look way better than crypto. ES came to a super key level here. You can see fail this level so many times, 4,200 in this little kind of order block. And I posted this on Friday. I said, if they're gonna dunk it, they gotta dunk it from here, because if it starts holding above 4,200, I don't know why it doesn't go to 43, and then I don't even know, maybe new all-time highs or up into here. So this is the area where if this is gonna dump, I think it happens from here. Conveniently enough, we have FOMC this week, so maybe we'll get some direction on the way the economy as a whole is going, and we can make some decisions based on that. But this is the area that I'm watching on ES. And again, if this starts to rip, right? If we get above here and we just start to rip, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go way higher, and I'm expecting the dollar to dump. That's the game of musical chairs that we're playing right now. Bitcoin kind of looks toppy. ES is right into resistance, and the dollar has just run a key weekly low and is on like kind of really strong weekly level here. Because if the dollar rolls over here, the next area I got is 99. And guess what? On this down leg, Bitcoin and equities are gonna fucking fly. But if the dollar has bottomed here, at least temporarily, we ran this low, got another low run here. We're rejecting this block again, maybe, I don't know. But if the dollar breaks up here, the inverse is gonna happen. I expect equities to dunk and I expect Bitcoin to dunk. I think the easiest way to kind of determine what's gonna happen next, to actually pay attention, not just on Bitcoin or ES or whatever, look at the dollar. If we get through 103, I think we trade to 105, 106, and I think that Bitcoin goes to 22, 23, 24,000. If we go down to 99, Bitcoin could go to 40, at least going to 35. So this is going to be your determining factor, and FOMC directly affects this chart because we're going to be commenting on the strength of the currency, the economy, etc. We aren't, Jerome is. So definitely pay attention this Wednesday. Hopefully we get, some decision. Kind of just been going sideways here for the entire month of April, just sideways. So we want to see, is this a low? Because if that happens, shorts are going to print, bears are going to look good. But if this is weak and it rolls over, then you know what to do. We long everything, right? So Bitcoin, I want to see these H12 lows get hit. That's my next area of interest to look for something. Ethereum, in a lot of ways, looks uglier than Bitcoin. Okay, you have that kind of clear failed breakout here on the weekly. Trade over, instantly down, and it just looks heavy, right? Like, I think this is kind of your 12-hour range here. I mean, you have your even higher time frame range. Like, look at this on the monthly, right? Monthly SFP. The monthly market structure's down here still, so it can come way lower and still be in a bullish monthly market structure. But this is your monthly, kind of range. I don't know why it can't come down to here before going up again, maybe. So a lot can happen. This is the monthly chart, but the monthly chart looks bad. It doesn't look good, right? And then you go to the weekly, there's that monthly high, clear failure. The weekly, I like from here to maybe here. Maybe we run down here, right? Into that level that I'd marked out. Maybe that's where the bottom forms if it's not in already, right? Go down to the 12-hour. I think there's a pretty safe bet that we are out this. We're on it right now. And then that weekly low, right? So here's our weekly range. That weekly low is not that far if we lose this. So this would be similar to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin going down below 27, probably equivalent, right? So what would that be? A 5% drop? 5% drop on Bitcoin. There's a little more than 5% here, but maybe this is where it happens. I don't know. But Ethereum, I think this rejection looks uglier, but I do think Ethereum BTC is potentially bottoming. I'm not actually in a long. I was just fooling around with this, but I'm watching this. I'm thinking maybe this is bottomed here, at least temporarily. And this does not mean that Ethereum is going to go up necessarily. If this is going up, Bitcoin and Ethereum can still both go down. It just would mean that Ethereum is going down less. You can already see that here, right? Both Ethereum and Bitcoin are down today. Ethereum BTC is up. Ethereum's down 0.17, Bitcoin's down 0.3, right? So that's what I mean. So this could pump 5%, but both Bitcoin and Ethereum could be down. Ethereum would just be down less. So similar to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, I think, runs this low at 27. Ethereum maybe runs these lows here. This would be the equivalent move to Bitcoin here. Running these lows here at the very least, but then you have that big weekly low down here. Bitcoin could run this, or maybe it's going to run down to the big weekly objective down here. Both charts, the market structure on the weekly is here, right? It's that big wick that we had back in when I was in fucking Aspen. So the weekly market structure still has a ton of room in terms of it being able to pull back quite deep and still look fine structurally on the weekly, right? But this is a large area, right? If it's gonna come back to 1500, you don't wanna be long at 1800. But in terms of short term, these lows seem like they're about to get wiped, assuming Bitcoin takes out this H12 low. And that's the next area that I'm looking to potentially frame a trade around, right? I don't need to predict whether or not this weekly low is gonna go. I'm just saying, hey, it's here. If we get down here, I know what it is and I know what I'm looking for and I know what to pay attention to, right? We are in a weekly bullish order block on Ethereum in this gray box. So this could just be a retest and maybe we just dig a little bit deeper into this and then we go up. Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin is still within this weekly bullish order block. So it's not completely over for the bulls, but it doesn't look great and they've got a lot of work to do. If I'm bullish on crypto, I'm not longing here. I'm either longing lower or I'm waiting for a reclaim of 29.5 or on Ethereum of like, 2030. And I know, oh man, if it's gonna go up from here, well, what happens to this part? I missed this part of the move. Who fucking cares? If you think from here it's going to 2500, who cares if you miss the first quarter of the move or maybe even less of the move? You don't, right? It's about catching the meat of the move. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, that's Ethereum. The reason I think Ethereum BTC is potentially bottoming, right? We have this weekly order block, weekly SFP. This is kind of like a 12-hour breaker here. So if we're able to get above this, I would have liked it to hold, to be honest with you, but I'm still, as long as we're respecting this low, this is kind of the swing, and I'm looking for this to potentially be the higher low. If we get above here, I think that looks good for FBTC. And if the market's gonna bounce, like let's say Bitcoin is gonna bounce up to here before down, or maybe it doesn't go down at all, but let's say it's gonna bounce from here to here, 5% to the upside. Well, if Ethereum BTC breaks out here, guess what? On the bounce, Ethereum's gonna be the better long. Yo. Whoa! I've been here too long. I don't know what you want from me. I hope y'all paid your taxes. Those were due today, even though the CRA up here in Canada is on strike. So they're not even working yet. I gotta pay? What kind of bullshit is that? I want to sit by a pool and drink all day. And the tacos. Why else do you go to Mexico? It's a fact. Hell yeah, brother. Have you DM'd me, bro? Mean, where did you put your stop loss break even? I didn't. Link Marine says Link's gonna pop. Listen, you own a bunch of Link and you're massively underwater. And you know it's true. I know it's true. You know it's true. You know that I know. But the only person you're lying to is yourself. You can lie to yourself, but you cannot lie to Papa Main. You can cry about it. You can leave me comments being like, you're gonna rue this. Guess what? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna rue this at all. I don't care. If Link becomes the greatest altcoin of all time, it won't, but good luck. Buy whatever you want. Buy Dogecoin then. I don't fucking care. I don't know what that is. Is that a Link thing? We're spending a lot of time talking about Link. Can we please look at Tesla? Please, God. Tesla is dialed. These charts, they're designed to go up and to the right. What a terrible arrow. This is when I longed the bottom in 1932. You can see here, it's on the chart, so. Bruh. It happened.